for tuning in. I'm student meteorologist Dylan Leith here, and we got a wonderful show, but another hot day out there in Tallahassee as we look at our current temperature, feeling like 92 degrees, just absolutely disgusting. Even at 6 o'clock, this is just very warm conditions, mostly cloudy skies. We're seeing a little more showers kind of pop into our area. Some of these due to the sea breeze, as you would say, but also due to the daytime heating. And you can kind of see the sea breeze, showers, and thunderstorms sitting down closer to the coast, but the daytime heating. So these are going to continue as we go into tonight. High pressure sitting off the Gulf, kind of fueling a little bit of drier air from the land, but this low pressure system bringing just a tad bit more showers as we go into the weekend. And you can see for the three-day forecast, you see more of those sea breeze, afternoon showers and thunderstorms. 97 degrees is your high for the 4th of July. We'll have a later breakdown with more information coming up in the show. We're going to talk more about the wet week ahead, as you saw in the 3-day, just another wet week. And then we'll talk about the severe weather in the Great Plains. I'll have that segment later on. But now let's send it over to Zach Law, where he's got our Southeast forecast. Zach, how's the Southeast feeling?
Southeast is feeling hot and muggy. We're seeing high temperatures in the 90s over most of the Florida area. We're seeing 80 in Montgomery, 91 in Atlanta. Charleston's seeing some thunder showers over there as well. And our dew points, they're just feeling gross out there. 74 dew point in Tallahassee, 75 in New Orleans. They are feeling super muggy in the area. Tampa, probably one of the muggiest areas, 76 dew point there. And as you can see, we have our good muggy meter right here. Tampa just feeling oppressive up there. Montgomery not feeling too good here in Tallahassee, very humid. Humid around most of the southeast is just sort of to sum it up. And that is because of this high pressure system that's sort of sitting right here circulating clockwise. So you can see those winds blowing in off the Gulf, especially over New Orleans where we saw that high dew point in the New Orleans area. We're seeing that moisture shove up towards Shreveport. And even here in Tallahassee, it's sort of riding along the coast, hitting Tampa. So we're seeing a lot of that Gulf moisture just sort of flow into our southeast area, bringing those humid dew points. And looking at the satellite, we're seeing some storms start to pop up around the Tallahassee area. Nothing here, right here in Tallahassee, some stuff a little bit to our west. Been quiet here in Tallahassee, a little bit cloudy for most of the day. We're seeing some storms also start to pop up in the central Alabama region as well. And for our storm outlook, we're not seeing too much. We do have the risk of some thunderstorms, as always, with our typical summertime pattern. And around the peninsula region of Florida, they are at a 1 out of 5 risk for severe storms as well. And over the next 24 hours, then to the 4th of July forecast, we can see this this high pressure system sort of continue to shift, and it starts to push west. And we can see that we're starting to have a little bit of showers in the Panhandle tomorrow about 6:03 p.m. And that's about when people will be starting to settle in, get to the park, get the cookouts going on, getting ready to watch some fireworks. So if you are out, you want to watch out for some potential showers. And here's that moisture just showing how humid we are, those humid dew points just being brought up because all this moisture is being brought off the Gulf, especially here in Florida. Looking at tonight, we're seeing a temperature of 75 degrees here in Tallahassee. We're seeing cloudy skies. Orlando and Tampa might see a few showers or thunderstorms tonight, but for the most part, pretty quiet. And tomorrow we can expect storms in our 4th of July forecast here in Tallahassee with a temperature of 97 degrees. I'm now going to pass things off to Tyler.
Thanks, Zach. We're going to take our first look at the local forecast. Here in Tallahassee, it was really hot today. Right now, it's sitting at 92 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, so the clouds have helped cool things down a little bit for us here. But earlier in the day, it was really hot. We hit a high of 98 degrees, and even our low temperature was at 76, so both pretty far above average for the summertime. And our rainfall almanac, the Tallahassee airport did not report any rainfall today. We're below normal for the year. We're only at 17.5 inches, and normally we would get up to 30, so we're still experiencing some drought-like conditions for Florida, Tallahassee specifically. Looking at the temperatures for the whole Big Bend region, Tallahassee at 92 right now. Monticello and Thomasville aren't feeling too bad at 77. Those are some rain-cooled spots. And then closer to the coastline, it's a little bit hotter. Apalachicola at 91, Sumatra at 97 degrees. And then dew points all throughout the region in the mid-70s. Very hot, very muggy outside. That's pretty much the main story for today. And then whenever you combine that heat with the mugginess, you get our heat index, which is how it feels outside. And then look at Sumatra at 112, absolutely brutal outside. If you're over there, make sure that you stay safe. The heat can be, it's actually at 103 now. So not quite as bad, but still pretty bad. St. Mark's at 104, Tallahassee at 102, and then Perry at 105. So not as bad as 112, but still really hot outside, so be careful with the heat. Looking at our winds coming off the Gulf, bring the sea breeze, bring in a lot of moisture for the Big Bend region. Our satellite, you can kind of see Tallahassee. There's a bunch of rain around it, but we're not actually getting the rain. It's almost like a Tallahassee bubble with all the rain going on around it. We see some rain that was building up in Lake City and then also to our west in Panama City, seeing a lot of showers. And then zooming out for our national picture, the rest of the southeast also seeing a lot of this rain, especially in Alabama, and then moving up towards Kentucky, we've got some rain, also some severe weather in the northern Great Plains. Over the next 24 hours though, you're going to see that rain start to go away in the evening hours, and the morning and late morning hours, not going to see any rain, but around 2 o'clock we're going to see the chances for showers start to build up for that 4th of July. And then looking at tonight's forecast, going to be in the mid 70s for pretty much the entire region. Bainbridge going to be up at 77. And then for tomorrow, mid-90s for all of the Big Bend, and then chances of rain for pretty much everyone. Apalachicola, the one sunny spot at 93 degrees. And then for our 7-day forecast, 4th of July is going to have our 50% chance of rain, also going to be the hottest day for the next week. And then as we move towards the weekend, those rain chances are going to start to pick up, and those temperatures will start to drop a little bit. And really the rain chances are going to stick around for the entire week, with Wednesday being the one day where those rain chances finally start to die down a little bit. But for now, Dylan's going to give us a look at our national forecast.
Thank you very much, Tyler. Well, around the nation, they're seeing very warm conditions. A lot farther south, even into the northeast, we're seeing very warm conditions for this time of year. Look at this, 83 degrees in Detroit, 91 in Washington, D.C., just very unbearable. The East Coast really seeing a lot of that heat. You see a bit of cooling, though, in Billings, and that's due to that front. We have some severe weather associated with that. And over into Phoenix, well, of course, they're seeing 105 degrees, absolutely abysmal. The only nice place, though, along the western coast, 71 in Seattle and 68 in San Francisco. Not too bad conditions over there, just a little bit rainy. And out west, you still have a lot drier conditions. So it's a dry heat rather than a moisture heat that you see right behind me in the southeast. They're seeing high dew points here in Tallahassee, 74 degrees. Just unbearable. Combine those two, and it just makes it feel so gross, so bad outside. And that's really the story. We're engulfed with this heat and moisture taking over the eastern part of the country, and that's going to stick around for the next couple of days into the next week. You can see not a lot of wind along the country. You don't have these really defined patterns, but as we look at the surface map, you see high pressure over into the Gulf, but then we have this other front that's bringing some severe weather. It's kind of stalling out right now, but it's expected to move farther eastward as that severe weather pops off. Not too really defined, and you can see the blanket of showers and thunderstorms covering the entire eastern part of the country. Just not the best conditions. Today, though, we have that slight risk on the severe weather, which is a level 2 out of 5, which means possible severe storms and some hail and tornadoes as well. And as we zoom in to look at that, you see these red. That's a tornado warning right there in dark or light red. So that's something to watch out for. And these darker reds are some flash flood warnings going on, and the severe thunderstorm warning in this orange just right about here. So we do see some showers firing off right about now, and we're going to continue to see that pattern as we go into the night, which is typical with this time when you get that daytime heating kicking off, the shear and all the other effects that lead to severe weather kicking off in the afternoon. This is when you see the ripe time for some severe weather. Going down farther south, though, you do still see some strong storms, not necessarily in that slight risk, maybe in the marginal risk. You do see some strong storms, some rain ahead, strong rain aheads behind it, though, seeing some drier conditions, and we do see those flash flood warnings still into effect for a lot of these places. Farther eastward into Kentucky, Cincinnati, and Charleston, still seeing these strong storms out there too. And these are continue to go into tonight, but these are going to kind of stick around for the next couple of days. We'll still see these patterns, some strong storms sticking around as we saw with that severe weather threat. And then tomorrow, as that low pressure system and the front moves eastward, we see the threat move eastward as well, only sticking to a slight risk defined into this area over here, seeing a marginal risk about it. But then we saw the southeast with all the thunderstorm chances. Well, that's again tomorrow too. You see the entire eastern part of the country engulfed in that thunderstorm severe weather outlook for tomorrow, and same with Friday as well. So seeing some strong thunderstorm chances, but not necessarily severe weather. As we go into the next 24 hours, you see the showers kind of dissipate, but the severe weather kind of kicks off over back where that front is. Dissipates down as that daytime heating goes away, but then tomorrow those showers in the southeast and the eastern part of the country come back. That severe weather starts to pop off again. And tonight, seeing warm conditions, even though it's been a hot day out there. And for tomorrow, for your 4th of July forecast, you're seeing warm conditions again. A lot of showers, so a lot of the fireworks displays in those cities, in the major cities, might have been delayed to the July 5th day, seeing as those conditions might not be ripe for some fireworks. But now, let's send it over to Tyler to see how awful Florida is.
Yeah, that's just about right. Florida's not feeling great right now. There's a couple spots that got rain cooled. Jacksonville's sitting at 76 degrees right now, so they're not feeling as bad, but they have to deal with the storms. Key West is at 90 right now, and then Tallahassee's at 92. Our hot spot is Pensacola at 93. Those dew points all throughout of Florida are just not great. It's feeling very muggy here, and as a result, our heat index numbers are pretty high. Tampa feels like 100 right now. In the Panhandle, it's even hotter at 102, and then Pensacola at 102 as well. Jacksonville and Fort Myers feeling a little bit better at 76. And our winds show us that the high pressure is sitting right here and bringing some breezy conditions, pretty much all of Florida on the west coast. And then for the east coast, all those breezy conditions are just coming from the Atlantic sea breeze. And then looking at the satellite and radar, let's take a zoom into the Panhandle. We see the storms moving eastwards away from Panama City and towards Tallahassee now. But a lot of those storms were in Jacksonville. It finally started to die down. You can see how bad it was over there earlier today, but they finally started to move through, and now they just kind of have a light rain. Lake City has some storms moving through right now, and Gainesville as well under a severe thunderstorm warning. As we move southward to central Florida, we just see some scattered showers, but they finally started to build up and westwards towards the west of Daytona Beach is where they're really sitting right now. And then moving towards the south, we see some storms moving westwards towards Fort Myers at the moment. Over the next 24 hours, we're going to see the storms finally start to dissipate once that daytime heating goes away. But as we go through to tomorrow, those storms are just going to pick right back up again in the afternoon hours. For tonight's forecast, going to be in the mid-70s for most of the region. Tampa going to be at 80 though, and Key West at 82. And then for tomorrow, going to be in the mid to 90s, lower 90s for South Florida. And the rain's going to help cool down some of Florida, but it's still going to be pretty hot. But now I'm going to pass things off to Zach, and he's going to give us a final look at our local forecast.
Sort of to sum up today, it has been a hot one here in Tallahassee. We're seeing cloudy conditions right now. They started to sort of push in, especially now that we have those storms building up off our west. Seeing 92 degrees right now, winds out of the north-northwest at 8 miles per hour. And our current temperature, 92 in Tallahassee, 89 in St. Marks. So we're starting to cool down a little bit, especially as we get the cloud cover. We see 91 down here in Apalachicola. And our dew points. St. Marks is just unbearable. 78 dew point in St. Marks, 74 in Tallahassee, 75 in Caribou, and that means we're not looking happy on our muggy meter, folks. We're seeing unbearable conditions out there, especially right here in St. Marks, where they're seeing that Gulf moisture blow in. They're feeling very humid, and as a result of these unhappy dew points, we are seeing very high heat index. Currently, it is feeling like 102 degrees here in Tallahassee, 104 in St. Marks, even Perry sitting at 105. Thomasville's a little bit cooler, 78 feels like 78 degrees there right now. And we have our winds sort of pushing in from the west, and they're trying to push through Apalachicola, 13-mile-per-hour winds, 8 mile an hour here in Tallahassee, 5 mile per hour out of St. Marks. Perry a little bit higher at 10 mile per hour there. Our current satellite is starting to show some stuff pop up a little bit to our west, trying to push through. We see a lot of lightning out to our west, and we also see some stuff happening down here in Gainesville. We actually have a severe thunderstorm warning issued a slightly north of Gainesville there, so if you're in that area, you might want to take shelter and be aware of any lightning or thunder that might be in the area. And looking into tonight, we're seeing 73 degrees as a low tonight, 20% chance of rain before 9 p.m. So those showers to our west are going to try to push through, but for the most part, they should try to be out of the area and fizzle out once we start to lose that sunlight and lose the daytime heating. And by 9 o'clock, we should be sitting fairly calm out there. And for our 4th of July planner, if you have any plans tomorrow, we're going to want to get out there early. It's going to start feeling like, and the temperature is going to be 77 degrees tomorrow at 8 a.m. But as we go about our day, 4 p.m. feels like 108 out there. So if you're out there grilling, be sure to drink plenty of water, stay hydrated, and know the symptoms of when you might have heat exhaustion, especially if you're going to be out there most of the day. Whenever the fireworks are starting to kick off a little bit before 10, it's still going to be feeling like 87 degrees, and the sun's going to have set about 2 hours before that, so it's going to feel a little bit uncomfortable. Something definitely to prepare prepare for and dress appropriately. 50% chance of rain on our 4th of July, unfortunately, so we'll see some of those afternoon showers, but hopefully those will start to fizzle out before the show starts around usually 9:45-ish, and we're going to see a high of 97 for our 4th of July forecast. And as always, remember to follow us at FSU Weather. You can always catch us here on FSU Weather on YouTube, and have a great evening.